in 1969, we were able to send somebody to the moon. 1969. Then we had the space shuttle. The space shuttle could only take people to low Earth orbit. Then the space shuttle retired, and the United States could take no one to orbit. So that's the trend. The trend is like down to nothing. This is not... People are mistaken when they think that technology just automatically improves. It does not automatically improve. It only improves if a lot of people work very hard to make it better. And actually, it will, I think, by itself degrade, actually. You look at great civilizations like ancient Egypt, and they were able to make the pyramids, and they forgot how to do that. And the Romans, they built these incredible aqueducts. They forgot how to do it.
We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Alien Addict on a fine, luxurious evening. It's going to be a bit on the dark side this evening, so we're going to be talking about the moon, all its mysterious places that you could possibly put a base. Oh, speaking of dark side, thank you so much, Twinkle, you little star. I appreciate that. It's going to be on the dark side. Anyway, without further ado, Terrestrial, my lad.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Nick, I'm very good. Yourself?
Good.
We're you know, whatever happened to everybody wearing grey jumpers?
Was the beanies gone?
Yeah, the beanies are gone too. Yeah.
I just can't find my hat.
No, I can't find it.
I should have not wore the hat. Now I feel like, and I thought about not wearing the hat too. How weird would that have been? Because it'd have been all beanies and we didn't plan it.
I've never seen your hair, mate. This is weird.
I have been. No, the first time I ever came on, I wasn't wearing a hat. You have to go back and look now.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to say he takes it off. He's got a proper beautiful mullet.
No. No, I've got hair, man. I don't know. I throw a hat. I'm a hat guy. I don't know.
So we were joking before, like nothing's going on in the world of UFOs. I just said, why do you think we're doing this? Why do you think we're doing a show on the moon?
Are we actually on the moon? It looks like with the background, we are here.
You think this is the moon? Yeah, it's some sort of stock footage that looks a bit moony. It could be anything. It could be somebody's patio, somebody's backyard just zoomed in. For all I know.
Well, I think if we're gonna fake it, though, we need to get a hold of Stanley Kubrick. Though, what do you think?
Oh my word!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, wasn't it the movie that was about all the esoteric stuff to do with the moon landing? Was it like Room
237?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. Room 237, an amazing documentary, not just about the moon stuff in the film, but about a lot of the stuff with the with JFK, with the Indians, everything. It's a great documentary. The Shining is probably one of my favorite horror films ever made. I don't even know if it's a horror film. I don't even call it. It's just a complete mind fuck. You know,
It is a bit like,
it's a crazy film.
It's a bit like The Exorcist. There's no like jump scares. It's just very psychological. It's very deep and emotional, and you really get intense into it. But we don't talk about movies and stuff like that. So, but the moon. So do you guys reckon the aliens on the moon, pyramids, or the Nazis on the moon?
Or the Nazis are on the moon? I've never heard of this one.
You never heard of that, really?
No, I never heard of the Nazis being there. No,
educate come on,
me,
Nick.
Please.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, it's in regards of like the anti-gravity Hannibal flying saucers. Allegedly, they had a secret moon base that they were constructing. Yeah, it's obviously fake, obviously, but great stories to talk about. Yeah. So,
is it fake though? Is it?
I wish it was real. I really do. With my line of research,
you wish Nazis were on the moon.
I'm going to take that back as like a science fiction sort of aspect.
I mean, I suppose it's a good place for them if they've got no oxygen up there, you know.
John Lear thinks there's an atmosphere, Ali. Look, there could be.
Yeah.
Didn't he say there was trees?
I don't remember there being trees. I think he said that they were doing like there were like plants and stuff like that. Like they had built, ways to grow things on the moon for sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, John Lear, you sent me that interview with him, and I watched the first one. Didn't watch the best one.
Yeah, you did.
Didn't have time to watch the best one. But yeah, he thinks there's life everywhere, bases on every single planet going.
Right. Absolutely everywhere.
Everywhere. He did, should I say. He did.
Correct. Rip John Lear, man, Yeah, he thought it was everywhere, and he said it with such conviction. The hardest skeptic in history would have to maybe give it a chance of belief. He was just the best storyteller ever with this stuff.
Well, I've got some guns tonight from the NASA archives that I have had stored on my hard drive for since I got this computer here, so it'd be 2013. I don't know why I'm holding it because you can't see it. But I've got an old computer here that had shitloads of NASA pictures, and I've dug a few of them out. But Nick, let's start with yourself.
Okay. What's
going on with what have you got for us? What's on the table?
Well, I wouldn't say I've got 2 hours worth, but let's start from what have I got here? Okay, let's start from this UFO magazine, my old vintage one, in regards of the Shard, which is that big thing there, which we're going to go into. So this photos I'm going to show you now was taken from this magazine that came out in 1995. So it was like the heyday of like ufology in terms of like X-Files and Independence Day sort of malarkey. So do you want to see a city on the moon?
Dude, why not? Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's bring this up. This is absolutely real, by the way. 100% real. Can you see it?
I don't think you're sharing it yet. Okay, yeah, there it
is. There you go.
Ah.
So who is this? Is this from that magazine?
It's from the magazine, yeah. So Richard Hoagland's book, which we can talk about in a minute.
Where did Big Rich get it from?
Big Rich, I don't know. It doesn't say.
Richard C.
You probably got it from. Is it Caroline Rosin that was the lady that was putting masking tape over the? No. She's the one that spoke with Von Braun, isn't she?
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about, mate. No idea.
There was a lady that allegedly her job for NASA was getting bits of tape and covering up.
Oh yeah, I remember her. Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, she was on Greer's panel, right, from back in the day.
Yeah. I thought she was. It's not Caroline Rosin, is it? No, she was the.
No, she was the last card lady.
She's the last card lady.
Yeah.
She may have used a bit of masking tape though as well. Who knows?
Yeah, the woman you're speaking of, I can't remember her name either, but I think she was she was pulled into the room across from her, and the guy who was doing it, who was doing all the edits for all the photos, and he was showing her what they were doing. Yeah, these are
So
cool.
these are just some like, I don't think these are actually probably published online, but this is quite interesting. The castle.
Yeah,
I'll go into detail on this.
Is this from a bird's eye view? Is it, or is this in the distance?
This I'll show you when it comes to Richard Hogan's book, because he gets an actual bird's eye view. But this is it up close, zoomed in, I should say. Looks like a castle, doesn't it? To a certain degree, some sort of structure. So there's some like geometric patterns there.
I think that's the tower, right? That he was talking about initially, where it's like 60 miles high. Is that the castle?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
it sticks out. I think I've got an actual proper. I'll zoom in a little bit. So this is the shard.
Yeah, I don't know how I've never seen this before, dude.
You never seen this?
Yeah, I know. I never have. This is cool. Yeah.
So this is original photographs from the moon. I think it's from the lunar lander. I think. I'm not too sure on that one, but this is the shard in the distance, and this is it zoomed in.
When you say original, but they're not on NASA's website.
Yeah, I can't find them. I honestly,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, mate. Well, they said they taped over all the original moon landings, so I'm pretty sure they'll destroy or do something to get rid of this. But
do you know where this guy said he got this from?
No idea. That's my final answer on that one. I just took the photographs because I thought it looked quite interesting. But
I remember seeing this years and years ago, but I think it was on a documentary. The thing is with these, though, like I do think some of the pictures could sneak out. I think that's highly possible that somebody could go here. There's you've seen this. This one didn't get covered up.
I think that's when we talk about Richard Hogan, because he used to work for NASA in terms of like photographs and stuff. And he was ordered to destroy a certain photographs. Obviously had like building structures on the moon, but he didn't. He actually took it home, waited like 30 years, and then eventually he wrote a book called Dark Mission: The Secret Side of NASA, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And he released all the NASA photographs that are, a bit like this, really, but no shard like this, which is almost like a monolith, isn't it, to a certain degree?
Yeah, it definitely does.
I'm just reading there, mate. It doesn't really say. It comes from a lunar lander. Sinus.
Does it say what mission?
I think it said Apollo 10, didn't it? Or
was it
on one of the other slides? On one of the earlier ones.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, Apollo 10 came from Apollo 10. This one.
I mean, what you do get with a lot of NASA images when you are looking at them, which is, if that one is real, that one is definitely not a scratch on the photo.
No,
but you do get a lot of scratches on the photos, hairs, bits of people's snot and shit, just on the actual
the film,
the print, and when you see them and you zoom in, and some of them look like you think that looks like a spaceship.
But the thing is, if you look, it's actually like cast in a shadow. It's got some structure to it. God knows what that is. No idea. It wasn't probably some star in the background. But you can see it's cast in a shadow.
Well, no, 100%. It looks like it's hovering above it, whatever it is. If it is real, it looks like it's not attached.
It's strange on that one. Let's move forward and have a little look. So this is from Richard Hogan's book, Dark Mission: The Secret History of NASA. And this is, I don't think this is on NASA's website either, but you can see all these.
Mars.
No, this is the moon. I'll get to Mars in a minute. I'll get to the Mars. Oh, no, actually.
I'm sure I've seen this on Mars before.
You might be right, mate. I think was all a bit jumbled up. But it's either the Mars or moon. I think this might be Mars, mate. But you can see.
Yeah, I can tell by the rock formation,
Yeah.
I'm Mars and moon rock. I'm just
You're an expert, are you?
expert, yeah, absolutely.
Some sort of expert now, are you, Ollie? Again, is I mean, that's quite impressive. You think for
It
like
is.
Moon and Mars, you know, this looks like bloody cities being built, you know, to get that sort of level of precision. It looks like it has to be cut out, you know. If you go to like Tunisia and stuff like that, you know, they sort of build these like mud huts, but almost like in the side of mountains. It's a bit like that, really. It's
I love these old like magazines and books.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
great,
do.
yeah. I've got them UFO magazines from the 50s and 60s there, and it shows the same stuff that we're talking about today. It's nothing new, but you do find some gems. This is the face on Mars.
Yeah.
This is my this was my childhood. Like from getting into this, that and the alien autopsy.
Yeah.
This was one of the big things, and I was so gutted when the new images came out of it. It just didn't look anything like that.
Yeah. Do you want?
But then I couldn't work out how it could look so messed up, and then if you put them side by side, the new image to that, they look nothing like each other.
I agree. They don't.
Yeah.
Like the eye on the left looks way more flattened out, blown over. Yeah, I agree. But it's always like that shadow on that right side. There's always all these faces. You can only ever get half of them, you know?
Hmm.
Just from the
I've
way the
got-
light comes in, you know, of course, but it sucks.
I've got the enhanced version in the book. I'll take a photo and I'll send it over. But yeah, that's just like the typical face, which is a well-known thing back in the 90s. I could clearly remember this. But what's interesting to the left here, you can actually see some pyramids. I think I've got. Yeah, here we are. Right, let's just zoom in a little bit. Again, this was taken from Richard Hogan's book. So here's the face. And here, the kind of look like pyramids. And they got this very strange crater.
Oh yeah, that crater's got like almost like
A dome in it.
it goes round, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it kind of
What's
looks like a football stadium, you know, where when they bring the actual roof down and on the side and they leave the bowl open. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. Yeah.
I mean, what's interesting about these craters is there's always something in it. There's always like you expect like an impact crater to be like sort of more or less be smooth, but there's always something
There's
like
always a little treat in this crate in the middle. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, this is a bit tricky because it's casting shadow to one side, but if the sun was shining out straight from above, it does look like pyramids, and it's the same sets of pyramids that is in Pyramid of Giza, apparently. But yeah, that face it looks like a face.
It does. Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah, it really
alien
does.
mask.
It
Yeah.
really does. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I'm absolutely convinced that is a face.
Yeah, that's the shard again. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, NASA 1967 Jupiter Orbiter 3 for that one.
Oh, okay.
And there's a frame rate of that. So yeah, tower and the shard.
It's
And
kind
that's
of
the
hard to
original.
find these pictures nowadays, isn't it? If you don't have these books, you're kind of screwed on it.
I was trying to find some photographs online. I struggled. I mean, back 10 years ago, you'd be able to find it. Even the ones that's even blurred out, you know, they've got the little bits
Right.
where they blurred it out, but it's so difficult to find these days. Yeah, this is the castle you're talking about. So you can see all the craters here, and that's it in the distance.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
It's a weird one, huh?
it is strange, isn't it? Yeah, I'd love to get like a 3D image of that, and that's a close up of that there. Yeah, this tower that pokes up like a boner, which is quite unusual.
The moon's dick.
Moonstick, taken from 1967.
Oh,
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
I think that's the tower that yeah, that Hoagland was talking about. This is
Yeah.
the tower that Lear or John Lear says that this is what collects the souls when you die. This is where you go. This is on the moon, right? Right here.
Yeah, the moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting theory, but there. Let's have a look. Oh, this is another tower.
That's
It's
a
the
lot.
spire.
It's a lot of these, man.
Thing is, it looks small on the surface, but if you really zoom in, you can find these incredible structures on the moon, all these domes, geometric patterns, and stuff like that. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, this is on Mars, and the Mars section of Richard Hogan's book. This is the Sphinx. Is it Sphinx? I don't know what it's called.
Sphinx, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Sphinx, yeah.
Yeah, it's just me and my accent. I'm just thick as shit. So this looks like kind of like the Sphinx. Kind of, according
It
to Richard
does.
Hogan.
God, I love
Let's
these
have a
old
look.
books.
Ah, this is my favorite photo right here,
Yeah.
man.
I had to put this in here.
Is this on that's on a moon crater, isn't it? That's
No, this is Mars. This is Mars.
Oh, it's
you sure?
Mars? I
Yeah,
thought
this
no,
is
I thought
Mars.
this was Moon.
No, this is definitely Mars. This is in the Mars section of this book.
No kidding.
Oh, actually, I might be wrong on that.
Okay.
Are you sure? No, I'm telling you, I'm sure this is the moon, dude.
Must be the moon. Yeah, look at it. It kind of.
It's an alien moon helmet. It's definitely the moon.
Yeah, look at that one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that was taken from this, which you can see it here, which is kind of hard to see, really.
Look at that, man.
I mean, I will
that.
say this: I found before a penguin on Mars, so it's a lot of these things do have a pareidolia to them, you know, where we look at them from a certain angle because we're only seeing them from this angle. But
Yeah.
you imagine when you turn completely around, that thing might just look completely different, you know. It's just catching it in that certain light. But the weird thing with this one is that red over the mouth bit, like it's got something that it's almost would you imagine it would lock into place?
Right.
Right.
The cheekbones, the eye sockets, the nose.
The nose is what gets me, man. The nose just seals it for me. Yeah.
I think that wasn't that a Chinese rover that shot this?
Could have been.
I could have been. I'm not too sure, bruv. I'm
Could have
not
been.
too sure.
It's been years, man, since I've seen this. But this is like my favorite picture from the moon, probably ever.
I mean, when I said moon bases, I don't know what I meant by it, whether I meant let's have a conversation about aliens on the moon, let's have a conversation about us going back to the moon, let's have a conversation about us already being on the moon. But I think in the world of for the UFO community, especially, you've got to believe in stuff like this because you grew up on stuff like this.
Well, you got to believe it's possible, you know. I mean, it's possible that that's a helmet, like totally, or a big structure that looks like a head. I mean, I don't see why it's not. I mean, I haven't seen NASA, you know, go back and take a new photo of this and see anything different. So
the thing is, it's a bit like ufology. You're never going to get a detailed photograph of anything, despite the technology. You know, they've got cameras that are so detailed that can take pictures of distant galaxies, and you can't get a bloody clear photograph of something on the ground. You know, for me, it just makes no sense. It's always bloody blurry. But look at a HD version of that. Oh God, everyone be on that podcast galore. Do you see what else I got? Let's have a little look.
I wonder how big that thing is. I think it's only small, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought
that was
small,
inside a crater. That yeah,
that's it there. Yeah. So it's a decent size.
Yeah,
maybe Iron Man's on the moon. There you go. Yeah, here's a city on the moon. This is 100% real. This is real, by the way.
Do you know? Do you know what that's from? I found this years. I found a book with that same image in that book years ago.
Wasn't it a part of a project though? Apollo 20. That was it. It was like this college guys that created like.
So this image that you're looking at here, it's in. Do you remember those like 1970s rock album artwork?
Yeah,
where you have the crazy buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's there's a really old like kind of debunk of this one, and they find this same image, and I can't remember how they said this guy had done it because it was kind of before. Well, no, it weren't before Photoshop. I think there was still Photoshop, but that's where he took it from. Apparently, it did look very similar to that city on the moon. There might be something on the internet about it.
It kind of looks like a heavy metal cover art too. A lot of that stuff gets really wild looking like this, you know.
Yeah.
Just like the structures look like they're bones and webs and everything kind of built together. And it's still a thing now. I mean, there's still like a lot of heavy bands that still do that stuff.
Yeah. It looks quite heavily photoshopped, but still,
Yeah, it definitely does.
no, it's still fun nevertheless.
Absolutely,
guys-
absolutely.
Because you guys remember the Apollo 20 mission? Well, obviously it was fake, but they showed the city on the moon, and they go into this big 3-mile wide sort of, not flying saucer, but this sort of UFO, and they found this distant alien woman. Could you remember that? Have you ever seen?
Yeah, it was the long cigar-shaped UFO, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, do you want to see if I can find the footage of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to hear the Disclosure Project guy talking about blurring out footage? Remember the Disclosure Project?
Absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
it Carl Wolf or something like that? I'll find it in a minute. I'll find it.
NASA got good with their airbrush.
Yeah. You think all the way from the 60s, guys, they've been doing this?
I know.
You know,
Well,
airbrushing
some of
stuff
it
out.
they screwed up though too, Nick. I mean, there was photos from the moon that were obviously fake, where they just overlaid images and stuff like that. They've been proven that they've been
Yeah.
crap. So
There's there's one photograph of an astronaut
hanging
in
there,
space.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it turned out it was just like a test sort of thing that we were
Right.
carrying out.
That's what I've always thought, you know, when people say, did we go to the moon? You know, that's why I always think if they did go, getting that footage back through the Van Allen belt, the footage might all just be fake. Very well could be, dude. I mean, we know. I mean, Richard Hoagland said they built those stages in the news stations in case that we lost the feed while we were on the moon. He goes, TV without pictures is boring, so we built the stages just in case. So I mean, they had the stuff there. The thought process was there. You know, it's
Yeah.
always interesting. Yeah.
Do you think is there any more images to this?
No, that's it, mate. Yeah, that's it. That's
yeah.
all I got.
So that out of all of those ones, which one sticks out to you, Nick?
Oh, the head. The Iron
Yeah.
Man head, definitely. Yeah. Because that's the only sort of coloured photograph that's in his book that's quite detailed. But nothing that goes wow. But nevertheless, some of the buildings or structures on the moon is very, very suspicious, especially the ones in the craters.
So I got some from my old archive of NASA files that I used to just download the pictures, and I've got mountains of them, and I wish I had time to look through them more today, but there's the few that stood out, and I'm like, it's really weird still. I still think there's a few that I looked at back then, I thought I was talking bollocks, but some of them still stand out. And this one is one of them that I find quite weird.
Wow.
It's very blurred. I don't know if anybody's ever. I tried to bring some out that people I don't think's seen before or spoken about before. These are ones that I used to speak about on the channel. Like there was, if you look at this one on the near the Alien Addict top logo, you see that thing that looks like it's almost taken off, and there's a shadow underneath.
Yeah, you're talking about the bottom kind of middle left, the
Yeah,
crater,
yeah.
the little tube. Like it looks like Mario's gonna jump down in it.
It's on the side where the 15 is.
Oh, okay.
Directly above the 15 to where the moon, the sky is, the shiny bit.
Okay. Yeah. The shiny
But
bit
the
in the back, yeah, right,
Yeah,
right
but
where it meets the black. Yeah.
all the shiny bits that are very blurred, I don't know what they are. They look. I'm thinking, are they craters? But it almost looks like it's off the ground.
Yeah, I see what
Yeah,
you're saying, mate. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely light. It looks like light bouncing and kind of what do you say? How do you say it? It's like the bloom, because of the amount of light and like the shot's out of focus, I guess is the best way I'm trying
Yes.
to figure out a way to say it. So it's out of focus. So any kind of glare that's going to be there is going to cause that bloom.
I think it was out of focus because they hit the engines to kind of come back. That's when.
Yeah, but it's the shot's almost like overexposed though on those. It's so the highlights are just really blasted up on top of it being blurred, and so it's just causing that effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So these because they're so blurred, I couldn't make them out. But there's in every image that's on that NASA section, all of these are blurred, but the ones after it are not blurred. It's just this section that's blurred. So I never got to see a detailed shot of any of these to see if those kind of like what almost look like barbly, crystally things to see if they are actually craters or not. Because you just couldn't tell.
Yeah.
All blurred. But the next one is a little bit more interesting. And have you ever seen this one? So the one that looks like blatantly looks like a base, like maybe an old thing. The up close one on the left. That's been put out before by my friend from What's Up in the Sky 37, Will. He put that out first, and then I think Security Intent put it out after. But that's interesting. If you zoom right in on that thing, it's got like almost. I wish I'd actually done a bigger zoom on that. Have you ever seen that, guys?
Not
No,
that one. No.
not that one. No,
One's
no.
very cool. The
It's
top
strange.
structure is very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very smooth landscape, and then you got these two big giant structures, in the
It's
middle of
true,
nowhere.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's casting
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
shadow. Yeah.
And then this one on the right, that's something that I found, and it could be anything, but it's just like when I zoomed in, I'm thinking, what's making that thing twinkle?
Yeah.
So, but my favorite by far is this one that I put into a video towards the end of a video, and I found it while I was actually doing a video on something else, and I went, "Oh, what's this?" I was doing like almost, like Jeremy Reese does, where he does the an Ashton, where they do the live investigations. I was doing like a live. It wasn't live, but I was just looking, and I found this in that crater.
That's interesting.
Now, all I've done on the one that's highly zoomed in is increase the brightness. The other two are literally how it is. I haven't touched them.
Ventilation, maybe?
I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah.
that thing must be massive. It's coming out of a crater.
Yeah, some people theorize that there's people or something inside of the moon. You hear some people say there's engines that are in there, and the moon was, towed to where it is now. I don't know. Maybe that's a vent of some kind, or
I don't know, but I just don't know if it was to. I kept thinking to debunk it, and I'm thinking, well, could it just be light in another part of the crater? But then you've got that kind of like pole sticking up, and then you've got the light
it's
hitting the
very
top.
rigid, Ollie. It's not bent around. It's very post like,
Yeah,
straight up and down.
but these are all NASA's website.
Oh, really?
Every single one that I've just showed you tonight, they're all on the website. Yeah, this one I got directly from NASA's website.
It's interesting. I don't think you can get the big original prints anymore from NASA. I don't think they'll give them to you of like all the old moon photos from back in the day. I don't think you can.
I think on the original videos where I've done these, I haven't got them on this show. In the original videos, if you go way back before I did live stuff, it's got the links to the actual photographs that go directly to the website to get these. So I'll try and, if I remember, add them to this live stream. But yeah, I do think there's something up there. Definitely.
Do you think that's a breadcrumb that they leave that there? Do you think that's on purpose?
I don't. Well, if you imagine you've got the original print in front of you, I'm sure they go through these prints with a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to. Yeah.
And they'll look a lot better than a digital print, than a digital image. The original prints would have looked, I reckon, they look pretty good, pretty sweet. So I don't know. I mean, what would be the reason to leave it as a breadcrumb? It's like, oh, well, they can't tell what that is. That'll get people talking. It's funny. Just leave it in. Leave it in. It might work out for us one day.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right that they would scan it, because even if it wasn't meant to be a breadcrumb and they want to cover things up, if they found something that was proof that there was structures, they'd want to be the first ones to tell you about it, not some guy on the internet that found it and put it out. You know, they'd want the credit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but NASA stands for never a straight answer, and I would never believe anything. So did George Carlin says NASSholes or something like that, like the term used for him.
But
Yeah,
what's the biggest gas giant in the universe, Nick? NASA.
NASA, yeah, I was going to say NASA, yeah, man. I mean, NASA's got, look, when they started, NASA started, what, 1952, wasn't it? I think it was like the early 50s. NASA came into public knowledge. But if you look at the people who were involved in NASA, like Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist, you also had Kurt Debus, who was another Nazi scientist as well. They came into America in 1945. They didn't go into NASA until, I believe NASA started in 1952. So what were they doing from 1945 to 1952? And I would agree with Jeremy Reed from Alien Scientists that they most probably had a secret space program from that time that would most probably be doing trips and back and forth. Because what people don't realize is that, well, I believe they got docking stations, a bit like the International Space Station. So what happens, you don't need to take a rocket up to the International Space Station. You can take off from the ground, fly all the way up to the space station, and then you have another spacecraft, another craft to go in that goes straight to the moon. And that was more or less been public knowledge since the 80s, because Reagan came out and said they had a docking station in space that can hold up to 300 people. Did you guys ever heard that quote before? I can't remember where
Reagan, no.
Yeah, definitely Reagan mentioned it. Do you know what? Michael Schratt, as we were talking about him before the show, he came up with that quote. I'm pretty sure he came up with that quote. He was interviewed by Jordan Maxwell, and I remember him says, yeah, they got docking stations. So it's basically, instead of taking one trip to the moon, you actually you stop halfway, take another shuttle, and straight to the moon. So I reckon they've been doing this way back in the 50s, or at least attempted to before NASA did. All the photographs from the 60s. I mean, do you know how many probes are on? Do you know how many lander rovers are on Mars at the moment? It's like 25. They've been doing it since the 70s. They've been putting land rovers on Mars since the 70s. So it's nothing new. So they've got such a big backtrack catalogue of Mars and the moon. Besides Mars, atmosphere is blue. It's not orange at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, if we had Tic Tac technology, if that was really ours, for sure, we would have went to the moon a million times, but we probably would have went a lot further than that too. You know, probably wouldn't stop there.
Yeah, but I do believe that I do believe there is some sort of secret space program behind closed doors. So if that's part of the truth movement, but there's got to be, you know, because these governments and all these institutions they never tell the truth. They do one thing and then they do another thing because they're getting privately funded from.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah. So that's my
right,
personal.
Nick.
That's my personal opinion. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion, man. We don't need old rockets. You know, every time I see a space shuttle or from like Elon Musk, I'm like, dude, we're not stupid. Okay, there's technology out there far beyond Elon Musk knows about it. He's a multi-billionaire, and all these rockets, like landing rockets, Werner von Braun was doing that back in Nazi Germany. You know, it's nothing new. It's just, you know, it's just like recycling old technology and thinking that it's new. We're going to build a rocket that lands. Yeah, that's like 90-year-old technology. It's nothing new. So let's bring out the anti-gravity spacecraft. I want,
It's
you know,
2026, I believe, that we're on about going back.
Supposedly, yeah.
what, to the moon?
Yes.
There's
So
been
what was the-
holdups though. They've had issues with certain craft that they're building. I can't remember what one. Jeff Bezos was talking about how they've had some issues with some of the crafts that they're going to deal with. But yeah,
Jeff Bezos, isn't that the guy who owns Amazon?
yeah, I think it was him. There was an article. There was some lunar craft that they're already having problems with, and I was like, oh, okay. So now the excuses might start of why they're taking so long. That nowadays, all our technology, the funding that they have, and they could go there with a calculator worth of technology in the 60s, but they can't go now. They got to take all this time. It's so weird.
I
Jeff
just don't get
Bezos
that.
has the penis-shaped rocket, Nick.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. If I saw a dick in the sky that looked like a rocket, I'm calling it out. But if you look at like Jeff Bezos, you got Elon Musk, you got NASA. All of them combined, they're worth hundreds of billions. Surely they must easily fund something to some sort of advanced technology to bring us to the moon.
This is
quicker.
why I find it so hard to believe. I mean, I think I should fucking get paid to how much I mention this show. Have you guys seen I forgot the show's name? For All Mankind on Apple TV.
Yeah.
No.
It is probably one of the best TV series I have seen in years. And it is about what would have happened if we'd have carried on going to the moon. And right now I'm on season 3. And so it starts when they go to the moon. And it keeps going and keeps going. It's got the actor in it from... Who's the actor that played RoboCop? Not the original actor. I forgot his name. But the new RoboCop film.
No idea, mate.
He's from The Killing as well. But yeah, he's a tall bloke, but he's the main actor in it. And it is a masterpiece. It's so well put together where like they end up keep going back to the moon. They build a base there. They're now on Mars. Spoiler alert. And we're in the 2000s. And I think we're going to get a season 4 of this thing. It's so good. So good. It's absolutely fantastic. But it really makes you think about this and think it's ridiculous it's ridiculous that we are not, our reality is not that TV program. It honestly is ridiculous that our reality is not that TV program. It makes no sense. I mean, one of the clips that I was going to use for the intro until I found that Elon Musk saying it was what's his name? Is it Pitt? Oh, I forgot his name. The NASA guy that said we lost the technology.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy sounds like Kermit, I think.
I'll get the clip up for the people.
Yeah, it got overwritten, right?
That's just that out of all the things to say, that even though I said that to my boot camp people, and they're going, I said, do you know they actually said that? They're like, what? They can't like record over the footage. I said, yeah, and they lost the technology to go to the moon. They go, what? Are you sure about that? I'm like, yeah, they came out publicly and said it. It just for me that just boggles my mind. How
did you guys ever like watch that documentary from James Collier back in the day? It was called Was It Only a Paper Moon? And he goes in, he's like debunking that we went to the moon, and he goes to to NASA and tries to take a look at the LEM and shows how you couldn't have got the rover on there the way they said they did, and that the astronauts couldn't have got out with the backpacks on. It's incredible. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, dude, that guy, it'll sell you that we didn't go for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. What I don't understand, when they're actually taken off from the moon, you know, they're in the lander and they take off to go back to Earth, it just like floats up like that. There's this like big spark. It's like, ooh, but it's almost like shot in the studio. And even there's rocket propulsion like experts going, yeah, that is not supposed to happen.
Yeah, this guy. Yep.
I can go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Sure, mate, sure. I'm not buying that. A multi-billion-dollar space agency. To delete and lost bloody technology. I am sorry. That's just, I'm not buying it. Not buying it, bruv. Sorry. Standing there like
2026, they're going to pull out a fucking Saturn rocket. This again.
Well, they already showed a new supersonic plane they've built. Have you seen that a couple of days ago? It was like this new aircraft that's old technology. You know, the Nazis built bloody aircraft that went quicker than this one. So it's like still can't break the sound barrier. You know, it's still relying on this crap. So
you're talking about like the X-58. I think it's called the X-58 or X-59. That's the Lockheed Martin NASA one. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yep. It's you're right, Nick. It's the same tech, wings, engine blowing shit out of the back. It's the only technology that's just never moved, man. Like transportation is the only thing that never moves. We got the Cybertruck and we got that thing, you know? Isn't that the weirdest thing? People really believe we have an advanced technology.
Cybertruck can take Rogan's arrow, though.
That's true.
I mean, if you look at like electric cars and scooters, electric scooters, that's everyone's driving. If you type in Google electric cars 1910, electric scooters 1910, you can see them. You've got charging points. You know, it's just recycled technology. This is what it is, you know. Yeah, we got technology, man, to get to the Mars. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually docked from Earth to the moon, and then they got like a big Subway, McDonald's, and, you know, a fueling station on the moon, and they go straight to Mars. I would be surprised, man. I would be surprised. All these theories about dome structures and hidden cities, secret space program stuff. Oh, getting hard talking about it.
I hope we feed our astronauts better than McDonald's, though, you know.
Guaranteed there's a Subway on the moon.
I mean, have you seen what the plan is for these moon bases? That they're gonna be like these almost inflatable things, like big, massive domes that are quite thick, but then they get this. They get this stuff that they've managed to manufacture from the moon itself, and they cover it with it, and it almost looks like it looks disguised as like in normal moon rock, which got me thinking, hang about, we won't see it. It'll just look like the moon. And they're saying that they will insulate it with this stuff that they make from the moon. It like churns it all up, and it interlinks it, and they put it on top of these domes.
I mean, it's smart because, I mean, if you use the material that's there, you don't have to pay to try to get the energy to get it up there. Yeah, I mean,
that's what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah, I think that's really their biggest argument right now. Why it's taken them so long is they're trying to get the logistics of all that put together. Like that's what Bezos's machine or whatever his craft is. They're trying to do is get that stuff back and forth, get the material, and figure out how they're going to move it around. You know. I mean, there's minerals. I mean, that was kind of one thing that Lear was talking about back in the day, was that helium-3 was a big thing they wanted to farm on the moon. And, you know, if we ever got fusion really working out, that the moon's supposed to have a ton of helium-3. And there's other minerals that they've talked about that they wanted to farm up there. It's weird. I mean, we're going to be in a space race to get there. I mean, with all these other countries again, for whoever is going to control the moon at that point. I know there's the treaty that says they can't and all these things, but I don't know, man. That's probably where the next real war is going to be, is over the moon.
China, I reckon. I reckon China's just. Did they put a probe on the moon not long ago?
They crashed one in, I think, right?
They crashed one, yeah.
Yeah. It's like nobody else has been able to go to the moon either or put astronauts there, right, Nick? You know, why were the only ones in the 60s? So weird.
No, I think China's gone on the moon.
They haven't had astronauts walk on it, have they? I've never heard that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, I've seen footage.
You sure?
I mean, I'm interested to. I mean, we've got Bart. Is it Sibrel? Bart Sibrel from A Funny Thing. They did the documentary, A Funny Thing That Happened on the Way to the Moon, coming on in, I think, April time. And he's the guy that got punched by Buzz Aldrin. So
yeah,
I'm interested to if he thinks that if we have been, you know, since, because he asked Buzz, he asked Neil to swear in the Bible, but he didn't say whether he. I don't know if he's a flat earther or not. I don't think he's a flat earther. I think he like just doesn't believe they went. But even if you don't believe we went to the moon, when you go out into your back garden and you look up at night, it's there in the sky.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of people on this channel that don't believe that we went. I go back and forth with it. Just because of like my main issue with it now is going back to that TV program is why we are not in that position right now. I just don't get it.
No, we are, Lee. They're telling us.
It's been theorized that we were warned off the moon though when we went. They said, you know, you come here, you're not supposed to be here, come back. I mean, that was the whole story about the audio transmission that said when they're above us in the crater, they're here, they're looking down. That was supposed to be Armstrong, right?
Yeah.
So it supposedly we were warned off to never come back. I mean, that's a story, you know. What if that was true? They said, "Hey, dude, get out of here. What are you doing here?" Truman Show style, you know.
What if the lie and almost, because NASA could just debunk us straight away if they wanted to, you know.
Sure.
If they really wanted to, they could go, here you go, take everything, have a look at this. I'll tell you what, we'll the next mission we send up, we're going to send a 4K camera up and we're going to sit it down. It's going to point at the Earth. In fact, you know what? We'll take Mark Sargent up with us. You know, we're proving that it's not flat. They've got the money to do, but they say they haven't got the money, but they have the money. You know, I will fund it. If somebody said, let's a GoFundMe to send Mark Sargent to the moon, I would definitely fund that. My point there is, actually, I don't know what my point is.
Well, listen, NASA gets 50 or 60 billion a year. I agree with you. They've got the money. You know, the money's definitely there.
Yeah,
definitely.
And damn it, some of that money's mine, Ali. So can I get
the money's there. The money's there. I know what my point is now. You just reminded me of my point. I think sometimes to myself, maybe they're screwing with us. Maybe they want us to think all these conspiracies so that they can get on with the day job. The day job is actually they are on the moon. They're doing the job. Maybe that alternate reality that I'm fascinated with on the television is actually going on. We just don't know about it.
On the dark side of the moon, maybe? I mean, that's a big question.
Oh, we wouldn't see it.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably where they would do it, right?
But wasn't it? That's where they were supposed to land on the on the moon, wasn't it? There was a specific spot they wanted to land, which is near like the edge of the dark side of the moon, which is allegedly where all these buildings are. Because we can never see it because we only see one side of the face of the moon. But yeah, I have heard about that. In fact, you know the tower I showed you the photograph when it sticks out like a penis. That's from the dark side of the moon. That part. So fuck knows what's behind there. I tell you, before I forget. I've mentioned this guy's channel before. Is it right to bring it up, Ollie?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I went quiet there.
I've just got Josh and
He's considering.
I think I'm getting a delay. There's Josh and Artemis, and they are on
Hey.
X. We're getting the X chat in here, people.
That's
oh yeah,
cool.
we are on X, and we are streaming live on X and Rumble. Yeah, we're getting good with this.
Yeah, that's new, right? I just seen that when I pulled it up earlier. Right?
Yeah, it's quite easy to do on StreamYard. You just hit stream on X or stream on Rumble.
Sweet.
It's weird to see it in X in the live chat on StreamYard. Clever. I saw a couple of Rumbles as well.
I wish he never
Does it
would have
tell you?
changed that logo, man. I wish he just would have left it like a bird, made the bird black or something like that.
Who's that?
Elon Musk, man.
Elon Musk.
Oh yeah.
I'm always gonna call it Twitter. I don't care. I'm never gonna call it X, dude. I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
You know,
It's been so long, isn't it? Twitter's been so
Yeah.
long. You know.
for sure. What my Twitter account's from like 2011, man. Like, come on. I'm calling it
Should have
Twitter this whole
changed it to a
time.
Raven.
That could have been cool, actually. Yeah. It's just a letter X. God, that's so boring. That guy's got so much money. Come on, dude. Like,
Call
make a
this
cool
kid
logo.
X.
Huh?
Call this kid X.
Oh, is that right? That's his kid's name?
Yeah.
No.
There's some symbolism
Really?
behind it. Then
I'm pretty sure his
called-
kid's called X.
There's no way he
Yeah,
named his kid after like the most toxic place on the internet. There's no way, right?
He did.
Come on. I
Are
don't
you
know.
sure
Maybe he's
about
not,
that?
maybe he's not very creative then, after all. He's got
I mean,
enough money. He should buy somebody creative. Oh, there he is.
Looking at you. He's looking at you. There we go.
Dude, I'd play Diablo 4 with him. I know he's a gamer. I'd love to talk about video. Have you ever seen him? Not to go on a tangent, but have you ever seen him like in the interview? He seems kind of interested, but then when you start talking about video games, he's really interested.
Yep.
At the end of one interview, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got to get out of here." And the guy brought up video games. He's like, "I'll stay here another 20 minutes, talk to you about video games." I was like, "Oh, he's a big gamer. It's pretty interesting."
So
you gotta get him
basically,
on.
what you're saying, top tip: if you're struggling to interview Elon Musk,
Yes,
just bring up gaming.
absolutely. Yep.
I think Fallout is one of his favorites.
Yeah, Diablo 4 he's playing a lot. I think Elden Ring too. He was talking to I think Lex about Elden Ring.
He was
Yeah.
speaking to Lex about that. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems cool, dude. I'd love to have a beer with him, dude.
yeah,
I
sounds
would,
like a massive
yeah.
nerd.
If he's paying,
I'm sure he would pick up the tab. Yeah. I'm sure he
Oh,
would.
that'd be such a dick mood of him if he's like, "No, you pay for it." That's like, it's fine. Got no change on me, mate. Like,
Maybe that would be a cool story though, Nick. What if you're like, yeah, I bought him the beer, you know?
yeah, fucking hell. Like, you just buy me a bloody Ferrari or something. I mean, think about it. How much is he worth? 100 billions? The net
I
profit?
have no idea.
I don't know either.
What the fuck
lot.
would you do with that money?
Whatever you want to do.
Go to the moon?
Yeah,
I
go to
fucking
the
want that
moon.
money. Yeah,
Well,
build that spacecraft.
Elon is he's taking Starship to I think it's in the next couple of years. He's supposed to do it, orbit the moon. Do you remember when he got he said there's going to be a load of tickets and
Oh, you talking about going to Mars?
no, he's going to orbit the moon first with Starship.
Oh, okay.
And
worth-
I'm sure I've told this story before. Well, he's told the story before anyway. But that one Chinese guy bought every ticket.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, heard about
And
that.
I was like, what? Hang about, Elon. You're you're a rich, clever man. You should say, well, hang about. No, you're not doing that. Everybody should enjoy it, not just you.
Yeah.
Because that makes me think, one guy's bought a ticket. It's not happening. We're just going to get one guy coming back going, great.
Isn't
Well,
there
think
like
about this. Oh, I mean, how much of a super fan would he have to be, too? You think Elon wants to get in that little crowded shuttle with this crazy guy who's obsessed with him?
I can just see him. I can just see Elon on there, and he's just like looking out the window and just going, it's real because it looks so fake.
How about the irony of he goes to circle the moon and his car that he put in space comes back and smashes into his ship? How about that?
I mean, if
God,
that car still survived,
Yeah,
because I think that car would be just like burning away to nothing.
it probably did, right?
Actually, no, I think I'm wrong there. I think he said it would last at least to get to Mars. It would be all corroded, but it would make the trip because that's where it was supposed to go, wasn't it? To Mars, supposed to orbit Mars. I'm sure. Yeah, I think it was, and it went off course.
Well, the fucking car he sent up was supposed to.
Yes, the car he sent up with normal tires, filled with air.
So this guy who's worth 210 billion.
Is it really that much money?
Did you get a chance? Is that how much it is?
Yes, he's worth 210 billion. He's one of the richest men in the world, and that's the best he can do. A fucking Ferrari to orbit Mars. What a stupid bloody thing to do. Honestly, that's just like.
Well, no, it was his car,
it was a Tesla.
Yeah, it was a Tesla. Yeah.
Who cares? He stole that technology from Nikola Tesla. It's just
definitely the name, right?
No, that's where he got it from. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nikola Tesla. I mean, the Tesla cars. Sorry to divert, but he got that. The AC battery from Nikola Tesla, which is 120-year-old technology, and then he built the car called Tesla, and yet you took the name of Tesla without him giving him any credibility. So yeah, thanks, Elon. And the cars are shit anyway because they see them explode. I would like to be near one.
I think they look pretty smart. I like they've got a giant iPad in the middle. If I could park up and play a bit of Tetris or whatever. Yeah, I've heard if anything goes wrong, with the batteries, it's expensive.
The screen's so big you can fucking watch movies on it. I'm like, you can't watch movies or TV soaps when you're bloody driving. Honestly,
it can drive itself, Nick.
I know. But the thing is like
that's the
lazy way.
X-Files.
When you're driving, I would watch.
Not when it gets too cold, though. When it gets too cold, then it's not going anywhere because the battery's dead. So you're screwed on that. That's what happened to a bunch of people here in America for this winter. It killed a bunch of Tesla car batteries.
Yeah.
Imagine how many people would die if, like, say, let's just say we fast forward 7 years from now, and there's a lot of these things that are self-driving, a lot of them, and somebody just goes bang with an EMP.
I mean, they could do that now, though, and it would screw us, though, right?
It would, but you've still got a steering wheel.
True.
But your power steering your power steering would go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you'd lose your battery and stuff, right?
So I
think it'd still be able to.
Old school,
yeah, I think so. I have no idea.
Have you ever turned a car without power steering, Ollie?
Yes, I used to have a car that wasn't power steering.
It's the worst. It is the worst.
I had the biggest. My arms were so muscly back then.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Dude, it is like the worst trying to take a left at an intersection. Oh my God.
There's a short story. I'm looking to buy a vintage car because I love everything vintage. And I test drove a 1953 Morris Minor Oxford, no power steering. I was like driving a tank and it's like shaking and it's just like, fuck it out, it's crazy.
With
but
the classic, like, wind the window down.
Yeah. It's got like the switch gear on the bloody steering wheel. But yeah, trying to turn in one of those things, Yeah, you turn slightly thinking you're going to get around a corner. It's like, nope, we got to keep turning it, keep turning it. Yeah, crazy shit.
But I mean but that's at the end of the day, we are just using with these rockets this old technology just with
Yeah.
some fancy dash. You know, we've got the nice screen in there. The back end's still exactly the same.
Isn't that
Exactly.
interesting, Ali? It's so crazy to me. It really does blow my mind.
No, but they can land vertically now.
I don't know what that does for me, but sure, you know, great.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper. We can bring it back and recycle. I mean, I don't know how happy I am about being on the recycled rocket. You know,
The recycled rocket. What do you mean by
It's
that?
I don't know,
environmentally friendly.
but also on the flip side, I don't know how happy I would be going on the first one that's not been tested. You know, with these things going back up and back down, back up and back down, back up and back down. The first one's going to be nervous. Second one, like, you know, it works. But the 80th one, you're like, ooh, how many
just like
more
a big-
more re-entries can this bitch take? You know,
Yeah. Is it like a big elevator? Did I hear something like that? There's just something that's going to go straight up. It sounds ridiculous.
oh, from Earth, you mean? Like the
Yeah, yeah.
You talk about the space elevator. I've seen this thing, and I just can't. It's just got terrorist attack written all over it. I'm like, Jesus
I
Christ!
just see like 20 planes just
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an accident waiting to happen. It's just the fucking thing's going to
Yeah,
topple
it's
over,
just
isn't it?
it's not a good idea. Please don't
No,
build a
no.
space elevator. That bitch is going down. Sorry, it is.
Or
You're
just
having
release
you're having your Alex Jones moment. You know, he called the building stuff, and now you're calling this one, dude.
I mean, you imagine how like the security they would have to have
I
on that
know.
space elevator.
Dude,
You
it's
know,
wild.
well, don't fly anywhere near it, please. Okay, yeah, like drones. No. Just be careful. The space elevator. There was also, I don't know if you remember this concept that came out of somebody having a space hotel that literally came through the sky with a like big um giant ore, like a space ore coming through the sky that you would see just sailing past you by, and like people would be getting on it from Earth and going into space. There was concepts like designs for this thing. It was crazy. I'm like, that is not a good idea. Please don't do that. Because if that thing comes down, it's game over for a lot of people.
You got
This is
super
what-
chats, by the way, Ali.
Oh yeah,
Just
sorry.
to remind you. Yeah.
Why ignore my previous? Oh, sorry, Jen. Which I didn't see it.
I got your back, Jennifer. I'm watching. As soon as you stop talking, I was gonna get it in there
Yeah,
for you.
it's my eyesight. Honestly, I can't see. I have the StreamYard up big, and
Yeah.
the chat small there at the side. Speak with experiences to get your answers. I want to get more experience on the show, Jen. That would be awesome. More
Thank you,
more
Jennifer. Thank you.
experiences. If you're
Remote
in-
viewers, right? If you want to know what was on the moon and Mars, that's supposed to be the big thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know how much I'm into remote viewing, but apparently it can be done. I've spoken to a few people that claim they can do it.
Have you? Yeah, I don't know. It's a stretch for me, man. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe something to it, but I've never believed enough into it to really dive in. But that's maybe my own issue. I don't know. I focused on the nuts and bolts for so many years, Ali. You know, that's kind of where my focus has been.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust nuts and bolts though. You know, because they come loose after a bit.
Okay, you know, I've been looking at the 3D printed stuff. You know, I'm into the 3D
Yeah.
printing. Okay,
See, I'm all for the Bob Lazar design when it comes to going to space. This thing was completely smooth. It had
Right.
no, there was no kind of seams, nothing. that seems like a sturdy little morsel to go
It
into
does.
space with. If I'm going to go into space and something's going to rattle, you know, I'm going to be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going, it's not. I don't care how many how how many of Elon Musk's rockets can come back down and vertically land safe. They've been screwed together. They've been welded.
So wait,
I
are you
want it-
saying if you got a free ticket to go on the lunar orbiter with Elon Musk, you wouldn't go?
Oh no, go yeah, of course I would. Yeah, that's content
It is.
for one. Content's worth risking lives. How would you, if you'd said no to that though? You would never forgive yourself. If you won the ticket to go up on the rocket, it's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
You stole it right from my mind. Yeah, why doesn't he do that? Why does he make his own chocolate bar line and do
Come
5
on.
golden tickets? And those are the people that get to go to space with him. Now that's interesting. That's creative. Let's get some of that from Elon, huh?
If he really wants Twitter to take off, you could do something on Twitter with that.
That's true too. Yeah. Maybe I just want a
They got-
chocolate bar. I don't know.
Find the golden X.
Have you heard of the Black Knight satellite
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
that's in
definitely.
orbit? Did they ever find? I haven't heard about this conspiracy in years, but did they ever find out what that's actually for? What actually done any investigation? If you got this unknown satellite that's in orbit, I'm pretty sure they'd be able to find out what's it about.
Apparently, they found it originally. Like an astronomer found it in the 18th century or something like that. That's what I heard.
Oh.
What did NASA say it was space junk? They released some other photo a few years ago, right?
It's the a blanket.
That's what they said. It's a space blanket.
Like it's like the cut.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like so. You know when
Yeah.
the space shuttle opens up
Sure.
and it's got machinery on there, and it's got like these. They cover it with this space blankety stuff. Apparently, that's what it is. And it just floated off into space, and somebody snapped a shot on it and went Black Knight satellite. But yeah, it's just a space blanket.
So
Apparently.
so NASA and Arrow are gonna make a mixtape, Balloons and Blankets, dude. New rap album.
Yeah,
That's good. I like that.
but I mean, there's a lot of stuff up with this the Black Knight. It's a bit of a mouthful. Black Knight satellite.
Yeah.
That I do find fascinating. Like the some of the images when you zoom in on them and you put them into Photoshop. It does have like a shape to it that is consistent with, but I think a few of them are fake though. I think there's probably one of them that is real, and that probably is the blanket, to be honest with you. But it's where all these myths and legends come from in the first place.
They're
probably
all kind of
just-
different though, right, Ali? Each photo is
Yeah.
kind of different. You know, they don't look no two photos look the same of that thing.
I don't know what to think of it. I've never really done a video about it. I find it interesting. It would probably be a good one for us three to do, actually. Like spend a week like looking into it and finding out what it is. Nick can find out if it's possibly related to Nazi technology.
I doubt it very much, man. It's probably something alien, as I like to think. But
I mean,
yeah, I haven't really looked
it's
into
not
it,
that
man.
out there, that Nick, though, that it being something alien. If you imagine what we do, if you look at what we do,
Yeah,
we send probes out there. We sent how many rovers did you say we'd put on Mars?
it's like 25. It's ridiculous. Since the 70s.
So there you go.
Hmm.
The easiest way, and I think it was I think it was Stephen Hawkins that said this before he died and had a good time on Epstein Island. He said something about
I can't get over that. I can't. So I just imagine some prostitute. I just imagine some
Oh my
prostitute just
God.
sat on his face. Honestly, just like I just
Holy.
yeah.
my
Do you wanna see
StreamYard's chat's not reset. Oh, there we go. It's back to normal now. No, but didn't he say something about the easiest way to get out there into space would be to like have these tiny little like probes and just send them out in all different directions.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the
With
name of them right
lights,
now.
and they had light sails, I think they said. So they when the light hits them, they get faster and faster and faster. And if you send enough of them out, you could map the entire galaxy within like 10 years or something ridiculous like that.
Wow, really? Quite impressive. isn't it?
So maybe the Black Knight satellite is just a probe. Big one.
Oh, I'm just coming across a load of debunk videos on it. It seems to be like the new thing, isn't it, in 2023, 2024, just like debunk anything that we can't explain. But even looking at it, it looks so bizarre.
Have you got it? Bring it up.
Yeah, I bring it up. I just got to be really careful what I bring up at the moment.
I mean, it makes sense, Ollie. If you were a civilization that could get around like that, I mean, even if you could go to our galaxy and you know instantly yourself, sometimes you would just send a probe to see if there was even a reason to go. Why even spend the fuel to go if there wasn't there? I mean, it makes more sense as a little recon drone. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There we are.
Well, from what we've got with our satellites now, I think we would be quite sure if it had water on it, if it had certain gases on it that we'd be interested in. We can find that out now just from looking at it through the telescope, can't we? Not the average telescope. Yes, these are the ones I've seen.
Yep.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I think the top left one's like the most famous one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah. And it's quite
That's so cool.
detailed. I mean, if you look, you can see the clouds, you can see everything. I mean, why don't we get something like that on the moon? A colored photograph like this. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
didn't Tesla Nick say that he was like interacting with it or something like that? Like he was getting
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
there
getting
was some
signals
interaction.
off it.
Yeah, signals, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did hear, but it's been ages. But it's just such a weird thing.
It does look a little blankety though, doesn't it? Like it's like something that had been wrapped around something. Just because it either that, it's just alien, you know.
You disinfo agent you are, man. I'll tell you.
I know.
Some black trash bag in space or something like that.
It looks like it could
It
be.
looks like
This is the
click back on that one, Nick. Click back on that one.
that one, huh?
Looks like a fucking Dementor.
It does, yeah.
I don't know what that is, mate.
Harry Potter.
Oh, what, the hat? That speaks.
No, like the Grim Reaper, basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
Do they have like images of blankets that are that color, that are black like that?
That
Or
is a
what?
good point.
I haven't seen one. I mean, I know they've said that, but have they shown us one?
That was another one of it.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it looks
Yeah,
so
it's-
different than the first, you know? It's so different.
Mystery Black Knight. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, it's
That
really
one
looks like a
too, yeah.
spacecraft.
No, that's an astronaut with a wingsuit.
Is it?
It's just, yeah. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna try
You
it.
debunker, you. Actually, do you know what? You're quite right. Actually, you got the legs.
It,
Most
look-
probably.
it looks like it's somebody that's like swooping down.
It's Batman.
Kind of looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get his balloon, the Batman balloon. Batman's going down again.
There's no video of it though, is there?
No.
I don't know,
No.
not that I've ever
I was-
seen before.
I was looking
No.
for it. I couldn't see anything on it. No. So yeah, that's the Black Knight. Not so far.
That's always the thing that I've wanted more information on the most, and you can't really get it, man. I've dug around. It's hard.
NASA never a straight answer. You cannot get answers from these people. If that thing was unknown or alien, NASA would be on that on it straight away, because it's in orbit, it's there, and you can chase after it.
Do you think it's building up to them telling us something? Because we saw, what was it, last year? They did the UAP. What was it called now? That
They
presentation
did their report, right?
Yeah. Report, yeah.
I don't know. They've got the liaison with Arrow though, going back and forth. So that just kind of pollutes the waters for me. So I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see the drip thing happening, man. I think they've had the opportunity to do that, and every single time the DoD just shuts everything down. It wouldn't come from them. It would have to come from some other part of the government. I just can't. I can't trust the Pentagon, dude. That can't be the default. There's just no way to do that.
I think the way they seem to do this drip though, and then all of a sudden they've gone in with was it Arrow they went in with, wasn't it? Yeah. It does seem like they know that the genie's out of the bottle and they can't quite put it back in, so they're gonna have to. They're almost embracing it because they're gonna have to, because they're gonna get caught out otherwise. That's what it seems like, because I never thought I'd see as much as a lot of people thought that was a nothing burger. I never even thought I'd see NASA address it.
Yeah, I think they're trying on a bigger scale. And what I mean by that is every single time that UFOs get popular, Ollie, they always create a government program that's going to investigate it and tell you what's going on. Every single time it gets out of hand. Project Blue Book, into Arrow, and then they shut it all down again. And it's like this time they included NASA. It felt like they were really trying to shut it down again. It's just history just keeps repeating, man, every time,
And you can honestly say we're not going to get the truth about anything. Thanks again,
Well,
Jennifer.
I've seen some stuff, Jen. Though I haven't seen big giant flying saucers up close and personal. I've seen lights in the sky. I've seen more paranormal stuff than I have anything that I would consider to be remotely extraterrestrial. I'd love to see something. I'd love to go out in my back garden and there's an alien taking a wee up against the tree, something like that. It'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as they're friendly, I want one that I can feed peanuts to, bring them into the house. Or was it M&M's? Was it M&M's to give ET? Brought him into the house.
Yeah.
I think we need to spend more time looking up instead of looking at our phones and asking for disclosure. I mean, it's all up there. I mean, it's free for you to look at. The only way you're going to find somewhat of truth, I'm not saying extraterrestrial, but it's just to look up. And I think spending half an hour a day is probably not going to be. It's not going to be enough. I've spent many hours looking up in the sky. Guarantee you're not going to get something, but if you keep on doing it, keep on top of it, I guarantee you're going to catch something. Same with ghost hunting. You're not going to go to a haunted location and you're not expected to find any paranormal stuff. I've been on loads, same locations, never find anything. But if you keep on doing it, guarantee you're going to get some sort of evidence. So
absolutely, Nick. When I went to America, when Dave took us to his friend's house, and where he lives, it's completely clear skies. And he just said, listen, we'll have some beers and what have you, but just keep looking up. And we were just talking, and he said, I guarantee, Dave said, I guarantee you UFOs. I guarantee you will see them. And we did. We didn't see anything that went like that, and then it went like that, and like that. But there was stuff just moving straight across in the sky. And I'm like, that's not a satellite. I've seen satellites. That is far too slow. What is that?
Yeah, there's something going on, dude.
And then there was some
way
of
to
them
argue that.
There were different speeds, but they were just dots. They were just dots at the end of the day. but I'd never seen as many dots ever. But if you're lucky enough to live somewhere with no light pollution, just go out there and just stare up at the sky. And if you happen to have a friend that's got some high-end night vision goggles, get them on your head, because that's what I had, and it was just unreal.
So what do you think that is then, Ali? I mean, do you think that it's multiple different phenomena then? I mean, if you have stuff in the sky like that, that's obviously representing extraterrestrial. So you think that's there, and then there could be stuff in the ocean, angels, demons, what have you. You think it's multiple?
Well, I mean, we were quite close to a national lab, so I don't know if it could have been something that was looking at that thing. I don't know, but I didn't get the impression that it was anything. It didn't seem alien, but at the same time, I thought whatever that is, it's top secret. If that's ours, it's top secret. Those things, I had the satellite tracker on my phone as well, and they weren't showing us anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Saying that, I don't really know how to use it.
I mean, I've got to be honest with you. When it comes to technology, the cloaking technology, I think that is one aspect that we don't talk a lot about, and I reckon they've got something that is cloaking human. I don't know if you guys remember back in the Iraq War, there was old news footage, and there was this tank, and you can see it almost looked like Predator being invisible, and you can see an outline of a person climbing up on top of this tank. Could you guys remember that? It's donkeys years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like cloaking, and it was on all the news, every single news footage. I remember that, and it
What, they
looked
would
like
talk. They would. Were they
it was just
addressing this on the news, or they were just showing a tank and people going, "There's an invisible man walking on that tank"?
no.
I don't
It was
remember
just
this.
it was just a random footage of what was happening in Iraq. But somebody noticed the camera was on this tank, and then suddenly you can see almost like imagine like Predator that's invisible. It goes all sort of watery, like you can almost see through it. You can almost see the person as well. But as it goes, the person comes into frame and it's all see-through, and it climbs on top of this tank, and it looked like it had some sort of cloaking technology. And someone went to every single news outlet, and it had the same guy, and with two different footage on it. This was donkeys years ago. I remember seeing it, but it was ever so odd. But I reckon this cloaking technology, it's probably far beyond what we're capable of. So what you're witnessing, Ollie, in the sky is most probably, secret technology, just cloaking technology, so we can't see it. I mean, for instance,
Could be. Yeah, it definitely could be. We see a lot of stuff though. There's so many stories, Nick.
Yeah,
They're not trying to hide, in my opinion. I don't. Maybe some of them do. Maybe there's a lot of them that are. You just can't see them. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I hear something, and the missus says that as well. I mean, yeah, we live not too far from an airport. Not saying what airport we live to, but we can hear this. Almost sounds like a plane, like a stealth bomber flying over the house, and the whole place is shaking. And you go outside, and you cannot see anything, even on a clear sky day. And even my mum says that. It's like, did you not hear that? It's like, yeah, it sounds like a stealth bomber flying over, and it's like, it's like fucking hell. And you go outside, and you cannot see nothing. It's so strange. But it almost has like some sort of cloaking technology, I would imagine.
I've just
But I'm
seen.
not-
I've got a few messages on Twitter from Truth Seekers, Stephen, and Dark Sky Files has sent us a. What is this?
Is it middle finger?
Do you know what? I'm going to invite him. Dark Sky, if you're watching, you can come on because you'll probably explain this to us. But here it is. This is what he's just sent across. UFO report by country. Unexplained phenomena database.
Oh, sweet.
Jesus. Is this
So
like
is
the
that-
latest? This is like the latest reports.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Is that pretty much up to date?
Look at Mexico.
Yeah.
United Kingdom. Yeah, it looks like it's all up to date. This is really handy. Cheers, mate. This is cool.
Does it come with photographs?
What is this database? Like, where is it from? I don't.
It's called the UPD the UPDB Unexplained Phenomena Database.
So it's just open source kind of thing. It's on there.
I
and you
think
can
so.
report it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the UFO map where all the sightings have been reported.
Arrow, are you paying attention? Okay, this is what what the public is doing. You've got a fucking satellite map of all the all the sightings here, guys.
Yeah.
God, this is interesting, man. Yeah.
There you go.
Is it
UK.
showing photographs if you click on?
Jesus.
Wow. Check near the Wiltshire area.
Oh my god.
Wiltshire.
Yeah, down southwest. Because that's where all the crop circles are. It's like the birth of the crop circles is in Wiltshire. It's only like 45 minutes drive from where I am.
Oh, here we go. United Kingdom.
Stonehenge, yeah, dude. Stonehenge is awesome.
Oh,
You
well,
think-
anyway, I'll
Stonehenge is
pop it.
evil. Stonehenge.
You think it's like really big until you see it and you realize how small everything is. You're like, I don't know, man. People could have probably threw some stones up there. I wasn't as impressed with it in person. I thought it was a lot more possible for them to make that than aliens or something like that.
You should go to Avery Stone Circle. That's like magnificent energy filled. Something about Glastonbury, I don't know what it is. It's something because I go there every year to a conference called the Glastonbury Symposium, which is not too far from Stonehenge, and I just get a bad vibe from Glastonbury. I don't know what it is. Like, yeah.
I wish they would have let us like walk into Stonehenge though. We couldn't, man. It was the ropes had us
Really?
way back. Yeah, it was probably 30 feet back at least, man.
When did you?
When we were walking around it. This was in 2004. Yeah.
Oh, all the way back then.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
Shit. So you can't actually go into it. That's bloody pointless.
Not that we did. No, we were on the outside the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, really. Yeah.
I mean,
did you
it was
pick
still
up
cool to be there and see it, Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to feel like the energy, It's
Yeah.
Thing is like Avery Stone Circle. You've got these huge stone circles that are like 20 times the size of man, and it's all in a massive circle. And we went there last year. There's actually a YouTube video on Crafty and Eyelist channel, and the energy in there is magnificent. I mean, it's just you want to be in that place, to sort of get rid of any sort of bad energy. But it'll be the same for Stonehenge, I would imagine. You just want to get there, be in the center, soak up the vibes.
Yeah, you just want to get close, touch those stones, man.
Yeah.
That's
Did you have
cool.
to pay for it? Curiosity, do you have to pay to go there?
It might have been like involved just in the pricing. I did I went in this group called People to People. It was like student ambassador thing back then. And
Sounds like
it
a
was like an
cult.
entire trip. Probably. But we went to like 6 countries in Europe and spent like a month or whatever. And it was cool. We stayed with like a host family in Wales and stuff like that. It was pretty fun.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah, we went there, man, and it was cool to see it. I mean, everybody says like the opposite with the pyramids. Like when you see the pyramids in person, you're like, yeah, right. No way we built this.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You don't like it seems smaller on the images. You just don't get it.
Mm.
Did you guys, any of you guys, watch the latest Truth Seeker with the Bob?
Bob Kvyat? Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. What he's just sent me this UFO footage that's enhanced. Have you guys seen this?
I had the phone going in the shower watching when he was on last night with Bob. Yeah.
Oh, this is old school, man. I remember
Yeah.
seeing us on TV.
It's just an enhanced version, I think.
Where's the audio of the guy talking? Yeah, Hunt, I can't believe this. Walter, get over here and get the camera out. Come on, it's goddamn space aliens. Get my shotgun.
You got the dog running after it.
Yeah, for sure. Don't get too close. The dog's gonna get ripped up like Bracelet Boy's dog did, you know? I can't remember his name. It's not my head. The doctor.
It's the flashing light thing that I can never get over. I feel like aliens having flashing lights, like, woo, we're here. You know?
Yeah, Grant Cameron's theory on that is if you ask a bunch of school kids, you know, how could you get somebody's attention if you made a craft, the kids would say, well, put lights all over and flash and get your attention. So it's interesting, man. Grant's got some interesting theories, no doubt about it. There's always things you can take from everybody.
I'm gonna have to watch this interview. I've not seen it yet.
What is this from, Ali? Do you know? I've never seen this video.
So this is from. So Steven said it's from. He's not put anything derogatory in there. Look, I'll just remove it just in case. He's put it's the Guardian UFO case footage from Bob Cravat. Talked about Kvyat, yeah. Talked about on the latest Truth Seeker show. I've enhanced and zoomed it. What's that say? I can't read that. It's too far away. I've enhanced and zoomed it somewhat to give people a better look. Interesting.
That's cool. I'm never against looking at a UFO video, dude. You know?
No, especially like some of the old classics.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing that footage from an American TV program called UFO's Best Evidence.
It does have Billy Meyer vibes, I have to say.
There's a
little bit.
yeah.
There's a bit of Billy Meyer vibe there.
It's a shame that is at night, not during the day.
But maybe Billy Meyer did see something, you know. Maybe he did. Maybe he copied it all his life. Maybe with one arm.
I mean, the laser gun sold me, dude. You don't believe it?
That fucking laser gun. Jesus.
It's it was the flying saucer in the tree that got me. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, it's like stuck out the tree on the side like that, you know.
Maybe not Billy Meyer, but did it just come from one guy chucking some sort of thing that looked like a saucer in the air and taking a picture of it and going, "I'll do," or did somebody see it, something, and everybody copied it?
But we've had this discussion before, Ollie. You know, why are flying saucers non-existent? Look at
Anymore, they're not.
You know,
They don't exist anymore. They've changed shape.
Yeah, but there was a lot of faking going on, man, back in those days. You know, I mean, look at Billy Meyer. Look at the wedding cake photograph. Like how ridiculous that is.
I thought it was magnificent. I would love a slice of that.
He's an artist, isn't he, Billy? Billy was a serious artist.
But no, don't get me wrong. Like back in the day in the 70s, that looked pretty good, didn't it? You know,
for sure, yeah.
Even back in the 90s, you know, same with the George Zamsky sort of video footage. But now in 2024, it's clearly a saucer on a string as it's doing this sort of motion, you know, and swinging around. And it's like,
well, that's the thing. If you'd have showed somebody in the 70s a piece of like late 90s CGI and gone, that's UFO, they go, shit the bed. You know, if they could see that technology that we've got back then, but we're now, I think as time goes by, you'll see it first. It's like when the AI stuff started to come out, we were all like, do you remember when the third phase of the moon got fooled and somebody had sent in it weren't their fault, somebody sent in a crash flying saucer to them. It was AI. It was AI generated.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were only just getting wind of that kind of tech, and they got fooled by that. And I didn't blame them for that because it looked really good until you zoomed in and you could see that the people, like, one had a really twisty neck and one had a fucked up hand.
I mean, 10 fingers, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. But I think slowly we kind of get wind that things are fake. But also it takes something to start them off. I don't know if it all comes from like imagination. You know, I don't think the alien grey is just somebody's imagination, because loads of people report it all over the world. Unless that is just loads of people just picking up on other people's images of this thing, and they almost bring it into existence. If that makes sense.
Creating their own reality.
Yeah, but like if you let's say, you know, if you were seeing something when you were waking up in the middle of the night, though, Wally, you know, those faces would look a little bit similar, but they would be different. And that's why I think you do see variations come out though over time. I mean, the gray that's above me in the, where is it, over here? Over here. I mean, that one doesn't look like a lot of the other grays that are out there. So I mean, the idea is that it
I
might
saw
be
in my
similar.
bedroom.
Yeah. Our minds can make up things similar, and people can try to remember what they've seen and then see something that somebody else drew, and it's not really what they seen, but they're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Your mind puts those things together, I guess is what I'm saying. So yeah, sure.
I mean, that typical style alien didn't really come out until Betty and Barney Hill in the 60s, isn't it? Really, that traditional, you know, that style head with the big eyes that we all know familiar with of being a grey. So I don't know. There's probably some like ancient artifacts somewhere of that sort of style head.
The cave drawings, right? I mean, there's cave drawings on the walls that look like the grays.
Yeah,
a lot of that stuff from back in the day. So it's much older, I think, even than Betty Barney Hill, right?
Yeah, you got Crowley's grey.
That too.
Yeah, it's just the eyes. You know what I mean? The big sort of like the what I would say Communion. You know the book Communion by Whitley Strieber. That sort of style alien. But yeah, it's strange, isn't it? That Crowley ugly fucker.
What do you think when you seen the cover of Communion? I know that's like a thing with that book. When you see that cover and you see that face, you either have it affects you or it doesn't, and that's supposedly supposed to be like
There's something about it. Something about
it's creepy, dude. It's a creepy one.
Plastic looking face.
It's kind of smiling as well, isn't it? And that creeped me out when I was a kid, because I remember watching the X-Files. I think it's like the first episode. I think it's like Mulder or Scully. They got the cover of Communion, but it's got a cigarette hanging out the mouth. Do you remember that? It was like a mock. But yeah, it just had that real creepy factor to it. It's haunted, isn't it?
Do you guys remember Wreak and Havoc, the interview that I did with John on the show? I think I was the first person that he it was the first time he'd ever come on a show, and
he's went away for a while, right? Hasn't he been kind of disappeared?
Yeah. He's had his up and downs with this community. I think he's staying away from it.
Who has?
But some of my really good friends that are not into this subject watch that interview, and they're like, holy shit, I'm blown away by that. That guy definitely saw something. I honestly believe John saw something in his bedroom. I don't know if it was alien or not, but I think something freaked him out. And he described it quite similar to the Whitley Strieber alien, you know, with the no kind of like almost featureless. I think there's something to it. I think there's definitely something to those little guys. I just hope they're not demons.
I mean, the kids from Aerial School described very similar as well. Same idea, and that was in the middle of the day too. That wasn't them sleeping. So I think the aerial school case is legit, man. I really do. I think that's
Yeah, me too.
those are the cases that you can't just like throw those out. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's an issue with a lot of the ultra skeptic stuff to me is like, I get, you guys were probably right about the last 6 or 7 years, but like go back and debunk aerial school, work on that stuff. I mean, that stuff's very difficult to try to go throw that out,
Is that the one? Is that because there's been 3 school ones or 2?
At least 2. I don't know about 3, but it's 2. Yeah.
Is that the one in South Africa?
Yeah, it's John Mack. Yeah, interviewing the kids. Yeah,
and that's the one where the guy in the recent documentary on Netflix turned around and said, "I made it all up."
That's the one guy, the one kid. Yeah, who looked like he was not very trustworthy, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people that kind of carry themselves the way he carries himself, and that's rough.
Lee had the same impression of him. He was like, "I don't like that guy. I know people like him."
He looked like he'd do just about anything for a $5, buddy. He does.
Yeah, he was like at the end of the school gate, smoking the cigarette, saying, "I made it all up." Flicking his cig.
I know, it's so fucking unbelievable, man. Like, as soon as I heard him talking, I was like, come on. Did we ever learn any more about him? I mean, have you looked into him at all any further than what was on there?
No, I tried to. We did a show about him. Well, not about him, about that. Literally just after that came out. I couldn't find anything on that guy. I would love to as much as he seems like a bit of a prick, I'd like to speak to him. I would.
I would too. Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Prove me wrong. Prove me you're not a prick. You can smoke on the show, not a problem. But
offer him $5, man.
Because that little interview wasn't enough. You know what I mean? To say, "Hey, I made it all up." That wasn't. That was just okay. Give me a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Look, he could be telling the truth. I mean, I could just be being biased and judging a book by its cover. Sure, dude. What have you. But what else? What other information do I have? I got to lean somewhere.
Well, that was one that Spielberg that did that.
I think it was, yeah.
I know Spielberg had I think Spielberg had something to do
executive
with it.
producer, I think.
Yeah,
he was producer on it. Yeah.
Anyway, you would have thought if this guy's coming forward saying none of this happened, get this guy with some of the other grown-up kids. Do you recognize him? Yes, we do. Okay. Do you think he could be responsible for this? No, he's a dick.
Yeah, but I think he was in the movie to cause the opposite view drama, though, and that they weren't interested in like proving him wrong, because then that kind of just like takes that opposite approach out of it. That back and forth. He was there for the back and forth, man. I mean, I get why they put him in, but I don't think they care if he's lying or not. He's good for the show. You know how that goes. It's entertainment.
And if you have just joined us, people, yes, we did start with Moon.
Yeah, we left that Moon shit way behind us.
Yeah. See you later.
We're now in the school playground. That sounded wrong.
I looked down when he said that. I didn't want to be a part of it.
This is what we do. We don't.
I can't believe it's been.
We don't stay on subject.
I can't believe we've been almost 2 hours, man. This has felt like 30 minutes to me. This has been great. I've had fun.
Oh yeah. Considering we had no content to talk about tonight, really, because I was like at the beginning of the week, and I'm like, we get it all at once. We get everything thrown at us.
I know.
And then nothing.
And then nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
It's the calm before the storm.
Nothing.
It's the calm before
the storm. I hope so, Nick. I hope so. Do you see anything, man? Like, I'm looking ahead, and I know Anna Paula Luna is talking about there's going to be some field hearings coming up soon, but that's really it. I mean, I don't see anything further. I mean, do we have anything else about Grush and his supposed firsthand evidence, or are we still just kind of just waiting for nothing? How many days are we on, Cambion? How many is this? 350 days?
Yeah, but
he's a garbage peddler.
But the thing is, I mean, what we learn about 2023 is that we're going around in a cycle. Nothing's new. We're going to hear these rush hearings, great, but where's the evidence? That's been pushing a lot, that word, evidence. Yeah, but we need something to back something up. It might be the same as last year. Another nothing burger, disappointment, false promises and hopes. That's ufology, baby. I'm just like I just take it day by day, mate. You know, now I'm just I don't get excited. Man. You know,
like Lee was saying the other day, says this is one of the hardest things if you're a YouTuber or content creator. If like when people say grifter, we'd be doing something else. We'd be doing something else. We would be reviewing my kids' toys, right? We would.
There's a lot of money in that. You know what? That's the new terrestrial material. I'm going to review kids' toys.
Super Mario Scalextrics down here.
That's cool.
I'd be on the floor, right?
Yeah.
With my camera. I'd even be doing it live Scalextric.
It'd be quite a thumbnail.
Does anybody do that? Live Scalextric. You could put camera on each angle of the scale.
I don't know, man. I'm hoping we get somewhere, dude, but I just, you know,
there is no money in this shit.
Hey, no, that's not true. If you get on TMZ, there's a lot of money. Let's be honest. There's money there.
The money we make, it pays for the software. It's a hobby. We love it.
Yeah.
But it's a bit dry at the moment. So somebody needs to do something.
Well, that's the thing that sucks, though, right? Because, like, if the government stops paying attention and we don't get news from there, and even though we don't need Corbell pushing stuff without any real evidence, if you lose him, there's really nothing going on. No government, no footage. There's nothing anymore, dude. You know,
you just only pray for a lady on a plane, some aliens landing in somebody's back garden.
Talk about Roswell again.
Yeah. Roswell's supposed to be this year, isn't it? The whole like
document thing, fake stuff is going to prove the
document's going to come out.
Yeah, sometime this year. I think it's the summer, mate. I think it's the summer, if I remember rightly. But like I said many times, it's going to prove absolutely nothing. Everyone's going to be talking about it, like the rev up, and it's going to be like whoosh, bang, slam down to the ground, nothing, and then it's back to crush.
I hope you're wrong, Nick. I hope you're wrong. I hope we see a full-on Jello mold UFO.
Be sweet.
Yeah,
with a crack in the middle of it and an alien hanging out of it.
Yeah, there's the Mexican mummy aliens. It's just like, damn it. God damn it. It was so close.
Debunk of them, by the way.
Yeah, the one where the South American government got a hold of them or whatever. Yeah.
They said they were dolls.
Yeah, they said they were fake. Yeah, they were put together with
seen the dolls one.
The smaller ones. Yeah. Yeah.
That was dressed
so
up.
Bizarre. I mean, who buys dolls like that?
Other cultures make different things, though, man. They make interesting stuff.
Alien dolls.
I don't have the answer.
I don't know. There's one thing we can't all agree on. It looked so fake. Yeah. You have to admit.
I mean, I said paper mache from the beginning, but I'm not like the more people shit on it, the more it intrigues me. And now that they've put them in dresses, I saw that. What?
But the thing is, they're so perfectly straight, and you can dance them around.
Yeah. I don't think they're real, Ali. Come on, I don't think they are, brother. Not for me. Not for me.
No, it's not for me. But why put me in dresses? I mean,
that's not that shit.
I mean, for the same reason why you would make fake stuff like that to begin with. There really is no reason, man. They make the stuff. Maybe they sell them. I don't know. Make a little loot, make a little money.
I think so. Like, look at this.
This is it, right? This is the latest debunk. Yeah.
I can't.
That's some ugly motherfucking dolls.
Lo que estamos viendo aquí es que son muñecos armados con huesos de animales de este planeta, en principio. Eso debe quedar así en claro. Unidos con pegamento sintético moderno, por lo tanto no han sido armados durante la época prehispánica. Eso es una historia, es un cuento completo, así, ¿no? No son extraterrestres, no son intraterrestres, no son una nueva especie, no son híbridos, no son nada de esas cosas que dicen este grupo de pseudocientíficos que durante 6 años han estado presentando estos elementos,
This guy's spitting fire, huh?
presentándolos en el Congreso mexicano, guardados en la Universidad de Ica, no es nada de esas cosas. Nuestras culturas del pasado hicieron Machu Picchu, nuestras culturas del pasado hicieron la línea de Nazca, no han necesitado ninguna ayuda alienígena para hacerlas. Quienes han promovido eso tienen algún interés económico, algún interés de otro tipo. La ciencia tiene la particularidad de ser así, la ciencia es una luz en el camino. Y lo que hemos presentado acá es ciencia, no es pseudociencia.
He looks like a no-nonsense guy, I'll tell you that.
Right,
He
so
really
I'm,
does.
so I'm getting this straight, right? So this culture, they get little bones, they put them together, and they put them in a dress with a cape, with a cape. And
I think
put
the dresses were after, Ollie. I think they put them on after. These were in transit when they got them. They were
No,
going.
but
They were.
this guy's saying that's what is he saying
Oh.
that is what they are for?
I can't
I mean, let's
anymore.
Am I
This time.
am I getting this wrong? Am I getting this wrong?
I think so, mate.
I mean, the
Why is
dress
it-
material is clearly newer than when these
Yeah.
were made. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
after the
Yes,
fact,
but
right?
he's saying that's what they were used for. As dolls.
Possibly. Yeah, humanoid dolls.
With real bones in them.
Dude,
Yeah.
people do weird things, man. You know, look.
Because they like rob graves and everything. You know, this is weird culture shit they do there. But
It's I would assume it's something with their culture, man. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Ollie thinks they're aliens.
I don't think they're aliens. I just it's right. If it had just carried on the way it was doing, I'd have gone, no, there's something might be that this is not right. But then to put it in a pink outfit, and then there's the cake, and I don't know. Sometimes I know Jaime's reputation. Don't get me wrong. I know that guy's reputation. But he's the guy that just stole them. You know? He's the guy that just stole them.
Well, his I think were much bigger than those ones. Those are smaller than the ones that were.
No,
in
he
Mexico.
he had a couple of the smaller
Yeah.
ones, and he had some big ones as well.
Oh, did he? I didn't see the smaller one. I thought he said the two.
No, I think he had a really big one. Do you remember the one that was? Do you remember the one that looked like that Pompeii thing with his hands over his eyes? Yeah.
And then there was one they had to build a building around too. That one was really big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
anything to do with Piney, I just can't take seriously.
He's taken this long for someone to go, oh yeah, I know these. My gran used to make these. You know, it's all we could afford. We just get a few chicken bones and put them together, and there you go. Sally.
You would have thought if this was taken seriously, right, that this would have been the biggest news ever. We got a new species of potentially extraterrestrials, and the rest of the world is going, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I don't blame them. I honestly do not blame them.
No, I know.
at all,
They do look fake. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, but they should know about Heine, you know. I
tell you where my intrigue, because I said to Lee and Dave, I was going, these are fake, these are fake, these are fake. And then when the x-rays came in and they started to go inside the skull, I'm like, that's a bit interesting. Because
Fake it, dude.
there's no, but have you seen the museum that's full of them? Forget
Yeah.
Jaime. Have you seen the other museum that is full of those things? Absolutely full of them. There is like, I don't know if there's 100 of them, but it's a lot of them in there. I want to see X-rays of those. Never
Haven't they
mind
done that
them.
though, Ali? They've never
Oh,
done
yeah,
that. I mean,
no, it was sorry. Them ones did have X-rays, and them ones looked good. The Jaime's ones was the ones with the backwards finger, and that. But
hey, look, you know, when
at the
it's
end
from
of the day,
wish.com, it's not as good, you know?
yeah, exactly. He
What
may
can you
have
do?
go, I don't like them. Those are really good. How did you make them again? We did this. Okay, yeah. It's like you just imagine if like Jaime's like talking to one of his mates, like I said, I can't believe you put the fucking finger on backwards. we had this. You had
Yeah.
one job.
He's just
The
yelling at
attention
him
to
in
detail.
Spanish, man. The screaming.
I don't know. It's just the pink dress thing is just a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah. They put it in
The
a
whole
pink dress.
thing's weird, of course.
It just
Name one thing that's not weird out of that, Ali. The whole picture is crazy.
It does remind me of a lot of the stuff that happens. Like do you remember how much rigmarole we went through from the lady on the plane?
I know.
And this is what happens in ufology is we get this rigmarole for ages.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you now that it's dolls, people are going to fight against that. People are going to be like, nope, that's not those dolls. They were never dolls. Now that the dolls, they're real. I'm not having this because I'm not having that they were pink dolls. They're trying to make us look ridiculous. It's like the lady on the plane. The lady on the plane now says, "Oh, it never happened. I was just blah blah blah." But she did look genuinely in distress at the time, and that motherfucker wasn't real back then. But now he's the best mate.
Yeah, this crazy plane lady, man. If you look at like the after footage of her after she got off the plane,
yeah,
you got. I hate to use the word Karen, but it's like I've met so many women
she
like
was
her.
called Karen, mate.
But the thing is, everyone talks about her 'cause
mate.
she's hot. Everyone's
She's a
talking about her
fit
because she's hot. Yeah, exactly. Because she's fit. You know, she's just trying to salvage her reputation because, I'll be honest with you, she's nicknamed Crazy Plane Lady for the rest of her life. You know, so now she's almost on like an apology tour to sort of go on these new anklet.
Is she allowed to go back on a plane? I think she is, isn't she?
Yeah, I think wasn't there a video of her on a plane again, being like, "Hey, I'm back here, and I'm not crazy this time." I think I seen a video like that. Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Anyway, I think we're going to get. My point is, we're going to get loads of stuff like this year. Loads. Mark my words. So do I. It's content.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Otherwise, we'd be talking about the moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we did good with the moon. The moon's fun to talk about, man. The problem is you can't do the every week on the moon, though. You know.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do it every week.
Yeah, because it's a hologram. That's why.
Ripple moon.
Yeah.
I love Ripple Moon. I love it. Oh, by the way, guys, Saturday, brand new show. It's his third one, The Conspiracy Mothership. Make sure you tune in for that. And this Sunday, it's been arranged for a while now. We've got John Stewart joining us again. He was on about 6 months ago with Lee and Dave. He will be joining us on Sunday to discuss. He may bring somebody with him. I don't know. We may get John and somebody else. Who you may all have heard of. And I'll give you a clue. Somebody else knows him as well.
But
I think I do think it's just going to be John Stewart joining us this Sunday. But yeah, that should be fun.
Cool, man.
He was on Campions the other day. That was a treat to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he held his own though. To be fair, he did.
Yeah, he did. He kept us cool. I think
Yeah, he
they're
didn't run.
closer.
He didn't run out of the show.
No. I
think-
thought
I
it was like pretty good back and forth, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was good. But no, thank you, boys. And boys, before you go, Terrestrial.
Yeah.
How have you, fella? What's coming next?
So next week we are going to do our podcast. We're going to do it on celebrities and UFOs. You know, what have we heard over the years of celebrities talk about it? You know, people like Muhammad Ali and go over their encounters, and we usually don't go back on some older stuff, but this one might be fun because there's some newer celebrities involved, and so we're gonna do a show on that.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. He's back. He's back.
You kicked him out of here.
I didn't kick him out. He left
Did he
himself.
drop? Oh, okay.
I kicked myself out. I do apologize. Sorry.
Nick, what you got coming up, mate?
Yeah,
You've been putting some stuff out. You've been putting some nice, good, lengthy ones, and also some nice 15-minute ones.
Yeah, keeping it short, short and basic. I just put one out about 2 hours ago, debunking, I hate that bloody term, one of the photos of the Foo Fighters, which I found out, which are going to be doing a deep dive into this amazing book that came out last year that details Nazi flying saucers. So I'm going to be doing more episodes on that. So it's content.
How old's that picture on the front, by the way?
It's hard. It's AI. That must be AI. That's what caught my attention. Look at it. And this came out last year.
Can you imagine if that was real?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, more Nazi flying saucer content for you to come straight in your face for the near future. There you go.
More Nazi flying saucer stuff to come straight in your face.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Make sure you get that thumbs up, people. Good night. God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Oh, and also, we have merch. Get yourself in the shop.
I know you're not going to leave without showing Fairy Lee. Come on now.
There he is.
There it is.
There he is. There he is. Good night. Oh, you can also follow us on Rumble and X, which we are live streaming on right now. And if you want to become a patron and give us a little bit of support, that would be bloody lovely. Or a YouTube member, whatever.
In 1969, we were able to send somebody to the moon. 1969. Then we had the space shuttle. The space shuttle could only take people to low Earth orbit. Then the space shuttle retired, and the United States could take no one to orbit. So that's the trend. The trend is like down to nothing. This is not. People are mistaken when they think that technology just automatically improves. It does not automatically improve. It only improves if a lot of people work very hard to make it better. And actually, it will, I think, by itself degrade, actually. You look at great civilizations like ancient Egypt, and they were able to make the pyramids, and they forgot how to do that. And the Romans, they built these incredible aqueducts. They forgot how to do it.
We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
don't know which film I'd prefer to interview. I mean, I do have a soft spot for Greer, but Tom would be an interesting catch, definitely.
Borat
Yeah,
would be better off, mate.